right, TSL HyuN. Here's the man of the 2-month streak hour. The 2-month hour right now, it's TSL HyuN as the red Zerg on the left side of Atlantis Spaceship. And on the top side, we have our newest challenger. It is Byun Prime, the Blue Terran.
That's right, and Byun has performed admirably in these long games, and HyuN's been able to hit really well, with a bunch of mid-game aggression. And we'll see what sort of strategy he favors here. It's been kind of interesting, the picks going back and forth. This one, of course, was considered to be a very good map for Zerg players. It's very, very large. You can take it very easily. A lot of running paths, a lot of attack paths that your opponent can't necessarily scout if you have good map control. So a lot of things do feed in favor of Zerg players. But we've seen Byun be able to take those kind of maps and flip them on their head and play long macro games and eke out a win, even when his race shouldn't be favored, I suppose.
Yeah, I think a big part of it, again, is just when you have any decent-sized force, spreading them out along a long distance with those Vikings landing and staying back a little bit, Marines not all being up at the front, basically appearing larger than you are, I guess. It's like how you fight bears. So that's what Byun is doing to fight HyuN. He's basically just spreading out everything he has so that Banelings are less effective, Fungals are going to be less effective, and even Broodlords are going to be slightly less effective. The only trouble you risk there is if HyuN has more permanent units like Roaches and Lings, they can shred the front and continue shredding through if you don't have enough tank coverage. So Byun really needs to stay on top of that. Siege tech is going to help him a lot against the compositions HyuN likes to run.
HyuN gets in there and he sees that everything's pretty normal, so I imagine he's not going to deviate from his pool in the gas, and looks, he's already got the drone set up for that. And we'll probably see a gas geyser being thrown down here in just a bit as well. Byun, though, on the other hand, he's found success with Command Center first in the first game, but he's also been punished for it with a lot of aggression. We've also seen that he's found success with a Barracks first, but yet again has been punished for that as well. So it's more kind of in his scouting and his response to what he sees out of his opponent than anything else.
All right, on Atlantis Spaceship, you actually have similar base layout to what we have on Daybreak. So that was a map where both players built 3 bases really quickly. Another option that we see on Atlantis Spaceship for Terran players usually is that that third high gas base that they like to take as their third instead of the one that's a little closer to home and a little easier to defend. So if Byun actually wants to take advantage of the high gas build, he could expand there pretty quickly, drop down a planetary fortress, and try to eke out that gas advantage quickly, try and get some more tech or mech out on the field. But HyuN, he has the option of just doing that third base timing like he normally does around 6 minutes, or if he wants to do it a little bit earlier, like we saw in Daybreak, he's got that option as well.
Well, the SUV is left, and he has every once in a while thrown something in that's been very aggressive towards his opponent. And he'll usually stop at about the 36 supply mark, then produce 3 Overlords and go into it afterwards. But this go-round, he's pulled all but 1 worker off of gas, and this is looking like his very traditional normal build that we've seen out of him over the past few weeks.
Yeah, so far so good, and with the factory coming up for Byun, he could try to get some Hellion damage in. Obviously, we still haven't seen if he's going to be adding on those 2 more barracks or if he'll go for a quicker starport. He doesn't seem too confident in his Banshee control or his Banshee builds so far. Yeah, there's a second factory coming up, so I really don't expect Banshee again out of Byun, maybe as an addition a little bit later on, but with these 2 factories, it looks like he is gearing up for mech. Yeah,
he could also be doing, we saw this work from Gumiho as well in one game against HyuN, which was the double reactored factories and just produce like 30 Hellions and just run at your opponent and try and do as much economic damage as possible. It's not got a lot of a follow-up, and you have to do significant economic damage for it to be worth it because your tech is going to be far behind. But if you can pull it off, a lot of times it can, or sometimes it can even end the game just by itself.
Yeah, if you get enough of those gooey drones and can, make some drone magma, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't really know what to call that, I guess. Drone ashes. But all these Hellions can actually get in there if they get double-digit value from those workers. Obviously, Byun can really just continue following up with those cheap Marines, cheap Hellions, and eventually, just overpower him. So HyuN taking out this neutral supply depot. He is actually going to take it all the way out instead of letting it burn. Oh, no, there he goes. I lied.
Yep, he'll let it burn. That's what he does.
Yeah, he just likes to watch it burn, and then send Lings after it, apparently, so they can chew on the fiery parts.
Yes.
Anyway, 4 Hellions coming in for Byun, so we will get the first look at how aggressive he wants to be. He is going to go check that third base location, sees that it's up, but not ready for drone killing yet. The Queen is trying to fall back, and HyuN probably is going to be sending another one. Yeah, so the third Queen from the main there is going to come down as well. Byun can't actually attack in yet, but he is making 4 more Hellions at a time. He could get all the way up to 12, 14, 16 Hellions before going back in.
Okay, so he's got 10 on the map right now. And he has temporarily, I said temporarily cut production of them, and that would be because he's supply blocked.
Ouch.
And so needs to produce a couple of supply depots at the same time. I believe he called down supplies as well. Yes, he did. So. And
actually, there was the game on Ohana he called down as well, but I just noticed it and didn't really have time to say it. But he's been doing that quite a lot in this series. Hellions will eventually power down these roaches, even though they don't do that much damage on their own. All the splash helps take them out pretty quickly still. But HyuN obviously sees that there's a large number of Hellions here. He's going to throw up 2 spine crawlers now, try to keep these roaches at home with the Queens to try to provide a wall. You can see the Lings running up there. Not going to last very long with this much splash. But look, the Hellions are actually so low. Drones could actually, one could just turn around and kill one of those Hellions. Any brave drone that's up to the task, but the Queens are going to come in, try to rescue them. And actually, these Hellions do almost escape. No, another roach blocking its path there, but drones still on the run, and Byun just researching vehicle weapon upgrades, trying to get as much drone killing done as he can before escaping.
Drone on the run. Unfortunately, though, he didn't do enough economic damage to justify the amount of tech that he's actually set back and the amount of Hellions that he produced. Yeah, and look at these Hellions getting killed before they're able to do all that much damage. Looks like he gets off 1 shot and kills a couple Zerglings. So that is... that did not work out at all for Byun. And he is, in fact, going ahead with his vehicle upgrades. He's producing a lot of Marauders. He's going to have Stim there, so maybe he'll be able to follow this up with a big Hellion Marauder. I don't even want to call it an all-in because he's obviously expanding to his 3rd right now, but he's not really moving ahead with his tech in any way, and unfortunately, he's kind of just lost a lot of stuff.
Yep, we got 4 roaches poking up from the top, but a lot more poking in from the bottom, so Byun could be thinking, oh, he's only got a handful of roaches, he's actually attacking in with this. But when you combine everything, along with those Lings, that's quite a lot of damage that the Hellions aren't going to have a great time trying to battle. You can see the Marauders there. The bunker actually gets taken out incredibly quickly. You can see some Lings getting taken out, but all these SCVs getting pulled. If HyuN actually prioritizes these SCVs, he could actually get out of here with quite a lot of damage done. Instead, he is now going to turn his attention to the Hellions. The Roaches still have a lot of health, though, and Lings coming in now to support. It looks like these SCVs are all in trouble, but HyuN really needs to, either commit fully or back off now. It looks like he is actually going to keep committing, keep killing as much as he can, and just leave the roaches as forfeit.
Oh yeah, he has done plenty of damage, and this orbital command looks like it is going to survive, but not before a couple more workers go down as well. It's 28 workers to 61. I'm having flashes of the game on Entomb Valley, but Byun at least does have a 3rd command center, and he can start to reproduce those workers a bit quicker than he did last time, but trying to go for mech off of that is just going to be so difficult, and he has actually switched back into double engineering bay bioproduction, but he needs more barracks, and he needs them now.
It looks like HyuN was actually scared of Banshees since he didn't get into the main. It looked like Byun was protecting the main as well as he could. HyuN actually threw out just 2 Overseers very quickly after that engagement ended, so that's kind of interesting. He's got 9 roaches more coming out now. Spinecrawlers are readjusting to defend this bottom side, and he's taken that high gas base toward the center of the map, but Byun still locked in on only 2 bases. I don't even know if he's got another command center ready to go. Yeah, he does on the right side there in the main, but he's probably going to want to float that somewhere soon to try and catch up on workers. Actually, no, he kind of actually needs to keep it safe inside the main, excuse me. So
yeah.
We have all these Hellions coming in now looking for drones to kill at this high gas base. There's only 1 or 2 at the moment, so not going to get too much of a payoff there. Killing the Queen would obviously be nice, but the roaches have surrounded them now.
And the, nice shot, breaking themselves away, and all these Hellions are just running into a trap. And for the gain of 1 Queen, that's not worth it. Again, Byun is just trading so inefficiently at every time. Yeah, he's down by 100 supply, as you mentioned. He's only got 4 Marauders and a Marine.
Oh my god. So Oh, wow. That's really terrible. He's got a lot of money, too. So that's kind of interesting that he's at such a severe deficit there. It looks like HyuN is just going to make mass roach at this point. 46 lings were in the production tab just a second ago, so that'll be the follow-up. They'll be showing up right as the roaches start to engage. So HyuN with this follow-up attack has great odds of actually dropping the hammer and finishing off Byun with such, you know, paltry forces left at the top of that ramp.
And he kills the command center at the same time, and he leaves just enough space for Zerglings to get up there, but it doesn't matter, and Byun has gone down. HyuN is up 3-2.